Do you have a partner who criticizes you about your appearance? Is this considered abuse? Can he or she change their behavior? In this episode, you'll hear about how leaving an abuser can sometimes cause them to change. Welcome Earthlings to Redditamin, a channel dedicated to popular and trending topics as well as tricks and tips to manage your daily life and relationships. Click like and subscribe and I promise you won't be abducted by aliens while you sleep. Per a recent Reddit post on relationship advice, a wife shares the following problem. Husband wants me to work out 5 times a week or he gets pissed. I am a size 2 and have a great body, but my husband thinks I should be more toned. Basically his idea of perfection as an Instagram model, and he doesn't get why I can't get myself to look like that too. I work out 3 days a week and eat very healthy, but apparently that's not enough for him. When I do work out, he always wants to know what I did to ensure I am working out according to his standards. I really like what I see when I look in the mirror because I went from a size 6 to a size 2 last year and have kept it up, but it's not enough for him. Unless I am a totally chiseled fitness model, he doesn't see that as an accomplishment and makes me feel like shit. This argument about working out 5 times a week comes up a lot. He thinks that it's very easy for me to do, and if I really cared about him, I would do it. He is no gym rat himself. He works out 3 times a week maximum, but somehow I'm supposed to be in the gym 5 days a week. I work full time, do 80% of the housework, organize our lives, etc. He has a lot of other good qualities, but this constant battle about the frequency of my workouts are causing me to resent him and makes me want to leave. I am tired of this bullshit. Anyone been in this situation or know how to navigate? Talking doesn't help because we have had so many talks about this and how this makes me feel, but he just brings it up again and we go in circles. Reddit top 5 comments. 1. Honestly, I'd tell him to F off and get his head out of his butt. You're working out for yourself. Even Instagram models don't look like Instagram models in real life. Why are you putting up with doing the bulk of the physical and emotional work for your marriage on top of being treated like that? If he really cared about you, he'd be a more equitable partner. I realize this sounds super abrasive and it's not my intention. I've tried rewriting it a couple of times and it's really not getting better. 2. I'm honestly concerned there is a lot more bad stuff happening in your dynamic with your husband, simply because you don't sound as angry about what's happening to you as that total stranger just did. 3. This is incredibly unhealthy. I would put a hard stop to it immediately. I do not want to talk about my fitness or health with you. I am happy with the way I look and I need you to stop trying to change me. I am disgusted with his behavior and expectations. 4. Get out now. I was in a really abusive relationship and he was the same way. No BF or GF should be hounding you about the number of times you work out or how toned you are. I constantly felt horrible about myself when I shouldn't have. I have a guy now who says I'm sexy, beautiful, hot, etc. no matter how I look. Seriously, please leave, especially since you have already tried to talk to him about this and it went nowhere. 5. This sounds like a very unhealthy situation. Your husband wants you to have a beautiful body for him. So, if you were involved in an accident and lost a limb or disfigured, would he just walk out on you? This sounds like a pretty sick situation, and it appears to be getting worse. You may need to go the couples counseling route to get someone else to tell him he's endangering his marriage by making these demands on his spouse. There is more lurking below the surface of this, so be aware. If an abusive partner knows for certain their spouse or significant other will leave them if they don't stop the abuse, they are more likely to change. Opie's husband clearly thinks he has the right to bully his partner. He has no empathy for her feelings and obviously isn't worried about her going anywhere at this point. She mentions in comments, "Don't get me wrong, he does compliment me a lot too and tells me I look gorgeous, but then he switches to tell me I can do more. It's like dealing with 2 personalities. I have tried to help him out with his own issues and stuck by his side through a lot. He always says I'm the best wife and boasts about my career success to everyone. He is quite proud of me in public but then picks me apart in private. I get angry, he apologizes, we have a good week and then we are back at square one. We have tried counseling and it really went nowhere. I don't think he sees that he's the one with the issues, not me. She also says she plans on filing for divorce and leaving him. But what if he promises to change? What if he promises to see a therapist? Should she stay and support him? How will she know if he reaches out to her in the future whether or not he's really changed? You see, he thinks his own needs come first. He cannot change unless he deals with his superior attitude. Even though, per OP, he compliments her and tells everyone she's the best wife, he's not changing his thinking. Almost all abusers have nice periods. When we talk about leaving an abusive partner, particularly for women, it can't be stressed enough that this needs to be done with caution. OP says he never has been physically abusive and it sounds like she thinks she can safely leave him. If she hopes leaving him will cause him to change so they can get back together, she would need to do the following. She should go no contact. Otherwise, he can use his manipulations and promises to draw her back into the relationship before he's gone through a treatment program. If he is serious about changing, he will respect her wishes for no contact during their separation. Stay away from him for as long as possible. Number 1 rule during this period: no sexual contact with him whatsoever. None, or she will unravel the progress she's made up to that point. She will bond with him and be right back at step 1. She'll need tons of support. Even though she said he isn't physically abusive, she would benefit from an abused women support group or counseling. She needs to surround herself with family and friends that support her and understand he is an abuser. She said her parents stand with her no matter what. This is great. Anyone who makes excuses for him or tries to shame her into returning to the relationship should be avoided like COVID-19. She needs people to remind her it's not her fault and that they have her back. Make sure he's been in recovery for at least 2 years before she considers getting back together. He needs to see she can live her life successfully without his constant reminders to work out. If he tries to make her jealous by dating some other woman, she can't go running back. Let's say they divorced or separated and then decided to get back together down the road. She would need to be really clear about what she will not tolerate. The first violation and she's gone again. It's that simple. He's got to see that she's serious. She should go back to focusing on herself and pursuing new friendships and rewarding activities. It's possible that the more time she spends apart from him, the more likely she will want to stay apart. It's a lot of work going back and forth with those people. She can still love him from a distance. She might even fall in love with someone who treats her right and respects her. Either way, she deserves to be happy. Without a doubt, there are women who abuse their partners. They berate and control their men just like the abusive men do to women. However, men aren't the ones fleeing for their lives and those of their children generally. Is she forcing him to have sex? How often does the woman threaten to kill her partner or the family pet? A man would likely be embarrassed and ashamed to admit he's being abused, but so are women. How many calls have been made to police by a neighbor where the woman is the one beating her husband? Consider this statistic. 72% of all murder-suicides involve an intimate partner. 94% of the victims of these murder-suicides are female. The victims of violence in relationships are mostly female. With violence comes other forms of abuse like emotional and sexual abuse. According to Lundy Bancroft, author of Why Does He Do That?, abusive men like to play the role of victim, and most men, not all, who claim to be battered are the batterer, not the victim. Remember also, men can be abused and raped by other men, and women can be abused by women. I have seen the effects of a controlling and manipulative wife on a male relative. She managed to turn him against his family. I worry about him because I don't know what she's capable of. I get it that men can be abused and hurt because I've seen it in my own life. That's all for today's episode, my friends. Tell us in comments about your experiences with abusive partners. Share this video with others who are interested in finding out how to leave an abuser they still love. Don't forget to subscribe to get notifications anytime I post a new video. Click like and stay awesome.
제 영상을 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 좋아요와 구독을 하시고 멋진 하루 보내세요.